Sea level rise is a significant consequence of global climate change, primarily driven by the melting of glaciers and ice sheets and the expansion of seawater as it warms. Rising sea levels have far-reaching implications for coastal communities, ecosystems, and infrastructure. Here are 10 key details about the dangers of sea level rise. 1. Accelerating rate. Sea level rise is accelerating. Over the 20th century, sea levels rose at an average rate of about 1.7 millimeters per year. However, this rate has increased to around 3.3 millimeters per year since the early 1990s. 2. Melting ice sheets. The melting of ice sheets in Greenland and Antarctica contributes significantly to rising sea levels. As temperatures rise, glaciers and ice sheets lose mass, releasing freshwater into the oceans. 3. Thermal expansion. As seawater warms, it expands due to thermal expansion. This expansion contributes to sea level rise and is a direct result of global warming. 4. Coastal erosion. Rising sea levels exacerbate coastal erosion. Higher water levels erode shorelines, beaches, and coastal infrastructure, threatening property and disrupting ecosystems. 5. Increased flooding. Sea level rise increases the risk of flooding during high tides and storm events. Coastal communities, particularly in low-lying areas, face more frequent and severe flooding. 6. Impact on coastal cities. Major coastal cities, such as Miami, New York City, and Bangkok, are at risk from sea level rise. Infrastructure, including roads, subways, and sewage systems, can be compromised by flooding. 7. Displacement and migration. Rising sea levels can force coastal residents to relocate, leading to displacement and migration challenges. This can result in social and economic disruptions and strain resources in receiving areas. 8. Loss of biodiversity and habitats. Coastal habitats like mangroves, salt marshes, and coral reefs are vulnerable to sea level rise. These habitats provide essential ecosystem services and support diverse marine life. 9. Economic consequences. Sea level rise threatens coastal economies that rely on tourism, fishing, and maritime trade. Damage to infrastructure, property, and industries can lead to economic losses. 10. Global impact. The impacts of sea level rise extend beyond individual regions. The interconnectedness of ocean currents means that sea level rise can affect coastlines worldwide, even in areas distant from melting ice sheets. Efforts to address sea level rise involve a combination of mitigation and adaptation strategies. Mitigation. Reducing greenhouse gas emissions is crucial to slow the pace of sea level rise. Transitioning to renewable energy sources and implementing sustainable land use practices can help limit further warming. Adaptation. Coastal communities need to adapt to rising sea levels. This may involve building resilient infrastructure, elevating buildings, creating buffer zones, and implementing comprehensive urban planning. International cooperation is essential in tackling sea level rise. Initiatives like the Paris Agreement aim to limit global warming and its associated impacts. Additionally, investments in research, monitoring, and early warning systems can enhance preparedness and response to sea level rise, helping communities safeguard their future in the face of this growing threat.